What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Power Book 2 Ghost, you guys, season 4, episode 6, you guys. And this episode was titled, what was the name of this episode? The Devil's Playground, you guys. Now, before we get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I'll need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into this episode of Power Book 2 Ghost, you guys, shall we? All right, guys, so the show is back for the last 5 episodes. Overall, enjoyed this episode. Now, also, what I will say is, before we even do talk about the episode, so going forward with Power and with Reasonable Doubt, there's going to be one word that I am notorious for saying that I'm going to limit how many times I say it, or I may not say it at all, right? And it's the N word. So I think that's what's gotten me demonetized on my last 2 videos. I think that's it. Now, this episode, we open up and we see Drew. So Drew is following Creepy Don around, right? And Creepy Don is roughing somebody up. So Monet texts Drew saying, "Hey, you got anything on Don yet?" And he was like, "Nah." He was like, "Nothing that we can use." So after he texts Monet back, then he got a text message from an unknown phone number, right? And it's Creepy Don telling him, like, "Stop following me." And then Creepy Don is behind him in his rearview mirror doing this to him. I was like, God, this Negro, Nigga, is creepy as hell, right? So then we see Monet and Diana. So Monet and Diana, they are out shopping for the baby. I was like, girl, you are 48 hours pregnant. Why are you buying stuff for a baby that we don't know gonna be born? Just saying, anything can happen. You are in your first trimester. Like, wait until you get out. I know you're a young girl, but wait until you get out of your first trimester. But neither here nor there, right? Monet thinks it's a little girl, and Diana thinks it's a boy. I was like, again, we jumping the gun. We count our chickens before they're, what is that saying? You count your eggs before the chickens roost or something like that. Whatever that saying is, y'all know. We just putting everything. I mean, we just going gung ho. But okay. So Monet is telling Diana, like, hey, Kane's room, I will turn Kane's room into a room for the baby, right? And so Diana was like, well, I was looking at Stansfield, and Stansfield has some options for, girls who have kids, right? They have this, they have daycare, they have housing, they have, food and all this kind of stuff, right? So Monet was like, okay, cool. What I'll do is I'll come help you up there at Stansfield, but I'll still convert Kane's room, right? So then Monet's phone starts ringing, and it's Creepy Don, and so she ignores it, but then it rang again, and it was Drew, and Monet was like, "Is this Drew, Diana? We gotta go." So they got home, and Drew was there, and Drew was pissed off. He's like, "Y'all went fucking shopping? Y'all are delusional." And I was like, exactly. So Monet, y'all know how she is, and y'all know how I feel about Monet. Can't stand the hell for, right? So she asked him, so you didn't get shit that we could use against that man? Bitch, no. He said that. And he told her that Creepy Don saw him, right? So she told him, no cop has ever controlled me, and this Creepy Don ain't gonna be the first. So they gotta find out who else he's fucking with and use it against him, right? And I was like, okay, good luck with that one, sis. Speaking of Creepy Don and his crew bust into Monet's house, right? He was like, "Reg, you ain't been answering my phone." And, he told him he wants his cut. And Monet said, right now my distros are out still selling. And so he was like, something, I've been really thinking about something. He said that Rico Task Force never found out who the supplier was And she told him, all of her suppliers are dried up. So what they were just doing, they were just out trying to steal whatever they can get, right? And so he asked her, whose product was it that you, took from? She said, the fuck if I know, you the detective, you should be telling me. I was like, you know what, Monet? This I agree with you on, right? So he went and pulled his gun on Diana and pointed it toward her. And they're like, no, don't pop her. I was like, please pop her. So he told her he wants a name. And, she says, nigga, I don't know a name, right? Like, I don't know what you want me to give you. I can't give you something I ain't got. So he's going to give her some time. He wants her to find it for him, right? Now he got a text message from Ed Matthews, and it said, Zay Green is alive in downtown jail infirmary. So he told Monet, I want a name and I want it fucking fast. I was like, excuse you? Who are you talking to, motherfucker? So the lady cop, her name is Felicia, she noticed all the baby clothes and she was like, girl, you ain't got no kids. I was like, dumb. Well, you know what? I guess I can't really call this woman a dumb because these dumb-dumbs went and bought a baby clothes for a baby that ain't even here yet. This girl ain't even out of her first trimester, so I guess I can't really call Felicia too much of a dumb because she was like nieces, nephews, but then she took the stuff with her. I was like, well, damn. And then Diana had bought a little snow globe, and she took the snow globe, and then she just dropped the snow globe on the ground. And I was like, well, that was rude. So then Diana told Monet, she's like, Ma, this is what I was talking about. Like, I ain't selling no drugs for no fucking NYPD. So Monet told her, you know what, Diana, go back to school. The way she talked to them kids, my God. Now, they took Drew to lockup, right? So the reason why Drew is in lockup is because of Zay. So Drew is supposed to take out Zay, and he has 24 hours to do so. And Drew was talking to, one of Creepy Don's men. He's like, motherfucker, how am I supposed to do that and not get caught? He was like, you're a smart kid. You'll figure it out. And you only have 24 hours. He says, and if you don't do it in the 24 hours, then I'll make sure that you don't make it out of here alive. And then I'll go after your mama and sister, and in no particular order. I don't like Creepy Don and his crew. I'd rather have Blanca. Where is that raggedy hoe at? Like, bring that hoe. She gets on my nerves, but neither here nor there, right? So after that, we see Monet. Monet went to go see Kane to tell him to put some distance between him and Noma, right? Because she said that she heard that some heat is coming towards her. And he said, you want me to leave her so I can come running back to you? Absolutely not, Ma. So Monet told him that, she's just there to protect his stupid ass. And he told her, Monet, you can leave. I was like, finally. Because, I mean, she called him a stupid ass like so many times in this episode. I'm like, my God, today, girl, the way you talk to your kids, I don't blame them for trying to take you out. Now, after that, we see Felicia. So Felicia went over to Monet's crib looking for Monet, but Monet wasn't there, but Diana was there, right? And she was like, where's Monet? She's like, girl, I don't know where Monet is. And so Felicia's apologizing for earlier with Creepy Don, and she's just telling him, he got me in a jam, and, he's not the easiest person to work with. I was like, girl, we can see that. We can clearly see that with his ass. So she's telling her that they have an issue. They have some, an issue, right? And oh, got ahead of myself. No, I didn't. Well, I'll explain it a little bit later once we get down to the another half of the episode. But there's a dealer that Felicia needs taken care of, right? And so she wanted Monet to do it, but since Monet is not there, she's going to ask Diana to do it. And Diana was like, look here, bitch, I may be in this lifestyle, but I ain't never took a person's life. And so she was like, well, bitch, you're going to do it, and gave her a burner phone. Because the thing with Creepy Don's crew is they just love to threaten people, right? because she told her, if you don't do it, your brother's in jail, and I can make sure that your brother never comes out of jail alive. I was like, God damn, this is the second time that somebody done made a threat against one of the top. Damn, and am I actually feeling bad for the Tejadas? Feeling bad for the fucking Tejadas, god dog. So then we see Diana. So Diana went over to Stansfield. She went to the candy store, right? Tariq is there. She's talking to Tariq and telling Tariq that, it's a lot going on. He's like, what is it, Diana? Meanwhile, Effie is on the side just looking. I was like, Effie, why you in your fifis? You over there banging canes, so you shouldn't be really giving a damn what Tariq nor Diana doing, but for some odd reason, she does, right? So Diana walked away, and then Effie came over, and she was like, it's mighty funny. She's still alive, and she was playing gambling with your life, but when somebody's trying to protect you, you got a problem with it. He was like, Effie, Diana's got a lot going on. And so she was like, yeah, looked like she's going through her first trimester. And so Diana came back up and she was like, oh yeah, Diana, I was just telling Tariq that you and him should have an abortion because you two will fuck up that baby's life. I was like, damn. I mean, she ain't lying, but damn. So Effie, not Effie, Diana told her, well, girl, you need to stop fucking with my brother being a side chick to Noma. And she's like, kind of like you the side chick to him. I was like, she got you there. Because, Diana was like, if you keep doing that with Noma, it's going to be a bullet in your skull. And I was like, well, y'all both right. I mean, I ain't mad at either one of y'all. Y'all both are right in this particular situation. So Effie left because she said, fuck you, Diana. Fuck you, Effie. So Drew's like, don't worry, not Drew, but Tariq was like, don't worry about that bitch. And she was like, I don't give a fuck about Effie. She was like, my family is in some serious trouble. So then we see Tariq as Tariq is talking to Davis. So the plan is to take out Zion. And like I said, I'll make it all clear as we get down to it later in the episode. But, Davis is asking him like, what's this about? He said, Monet got them into some shit. So Davis asked him, well, who is the connect? And he said, well, Diana won't say. So Davis told him that, Zion tried to take out Noma, but he hit the government official, right? And Tariq said, you know what? That may be able to get us back in the good graces of Noma because she wants that Negro's head, right? And so David says, you mean by you mean you motherfucker. He was like, whatever that. So Tariq says, we can use that to make a better deal with Noma. And I was like, oh, okay. So David said, you know what? I'll set up the meeting and I'll let you know when it's gonna happen, right? So after that, we see Monet. So Monet went back to Creepy Don, and so she told Creepy Don that the drugs were from the Russians and an ugly motherfucker. I was like, girl, you got a habit of calling everybody ugly. So she says from an ugly motherfucker named Vadim, right? So Creepy Don knows Vadim, and Creepy Don is wondering, like, when it comes down to Vadim, I just rated some of his products. So how did he get a connect so fast? And Monet was like, oh, this is going to be so hard not to say the word Negro. She was like, Negro, I don't know. Like, that's for you to do. But she also told him, she's like, I want Drew home because I gave you a name. So he said, well, Drew has a job to do. Once it's done, I'll give you a call back. And she told him, if you hurt my son, actually not if you hurt my son, if you hurt my kid, I'm coming for you. I was like, oh, okay. I guess, right? So after that, we see Drew over at the prison, right? At the jail. Drew needs to find a way to get to the infirmary to Zay. So he got into a fight with Roman, and him and Roman fight. Then the guards came and beat him with the nightstick. So that took him to the infirmary, where he was able to then get to Zay and take Zay out, right? So after that, we see as Creepy Don and his crew, they are going over the next drug bust, right? And we'll pause here and we'll talk about that later in the episode, you guys. All right, you guys, so next up, let's talk about Kane real quick. So Kane went over to the house, right? And Monet asked him, like, what the fuck do you want? So he mentioned someone hitting Noma Supply last night. And she was like, the other night, she was like, well, shit, that sounds like a you and Noma issue, right? And so, she told him, he was like, we were thinking, like, what motherfucker would be dumb enough to do that? And she's like, well, it could be anybody. He said, and it could be you too, right? And she said, you know what? That Givenchy pussy, that Givenchy pussy really got you fucked up. So he asked her, why have you been trying to protect me, Monet? And she told him, boy, fuck you and Noma. Because he was telling her the streets have told him what's going on. And like I said, so this episode was kind of all over the place. So my notes are not like they normally are, but hopefully next week we can get back to it. But we'll talk about that in a minute too, because it plays in with him with Noma. But we'll talk about that in a little bit, right? But he's telling her that the streets have been talking about, Zay, more specifically, his brother came up to him. And so she was like, she called him a dumbass and then said that he's pussy whipped. And that, she don't know why she keeps trying with him and he forgetting who she is. Monet, girl, again, the way you talk to your kids, the disrespect, my God, ma'am. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. But she told him the next time you come to me, you better come at me with some bullshit better than the streets are talking. I was like, girl, a hit dog will holler. So then we see Noma. So Noma pulled up on Tariq and Brayden, and this is at the beginning of the episode, saying how dare they break their agreement by selling drugs at their little party. She said, you know what? You're very lucky that Anya showed up when she did, because you two would be 6 feet under right about now, right? So Tariq was like, well, taking us out might not be a smart thing because, I've been hanging out with Anya, and Anya doesn't know what you do. And so Kane was like, oh, so that gives us more of a reason to take you two motherfuckers out, huh? So Brayden had this little, I don't know if that was a flash drive or what, but whatever it was, it's the evidence that Agent Young had, right? That shows that she's a supplier, and, also the fact that Anya's dad was taken out by Noma, right? And so Tariq was like, I don't think you would want Anya to know any of that stuff, would you? Because I think if she found out that you took her dad out, she wouldn't want to have anything to do with you, right? So Tariq told her, like, if anything happens to me and Brayden, the police will get this as well as Anya will get this. She was like, piss off, you see you next Tuesday. I was like, they put you in your place, ho. They put you in your place, right? So they left. And so, Noma is talking about this meeting that she has with Wiley, right? Kane is like, well, how about I come and help you with this? She was like, no, Davis will come. And he's like, what the fuck can Davis do for you? That man ain't even got a life. Y'all, I promise you guys, it's so hard not to say the word. Oh, it's so hard not to say the N-word. My God, this is going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge, you guys. Because y'all know that's my go-to word, especially with this show. It just fits. Like, it would have just fit in there to just say what I said about, Kane saying that Davis, that ninja, can't do nothing for her because he ain't got no license, right? Ninja don't roll. Ninja don't feel right, does it? Oh, no. But neither here nor there, right? But he told her that, Tariq and Brayden are buying some time. Obviously, Kane. So he wants her to take him with her to close the deal. Girl, Mona, you talk about he's pussy whipped and she's digmatized. She's digmatized, but like Kane is got to be. So Kane is younger than what the fuck is his what was his name? Zeke. Kane is younger than Zeke. Zeke was what, 24? So Kane is at least 23, 21, 22 to 23 years old. Girl, you stupid. Dumb as a box of rocks. Tariq and Brayden, they were talking, Tariq is still trying to become the apex predator, right? We got that. Now, we see Noma. She took Kane with her to do this deal with Wiley. I was like, girl, you are stupid and digmatized. So Wiley told Noma, like, with the deal, we'll be good as long as I get all my money, right? So she slid the money across the table and that's all you hear, and you just see glass shattering. Wiley. Wiley was dumb. Oh my God. Wiley. I have one question for you. Who the hell told you that when you hear gunshots to get up and try to run? Everybody else ducked. This fool. I died laughing, you guys. I hollered when that man hopped up in front of them bullets and got blasted. I was like, that was dumb. That was dumb. So Noma is pissed off, about this, and she's mad because she almost got taken out. She's also mad at Kane because you guys remember, she feels that Kane is a cause of this because of that fight that Kane had with Zion. So Kane was like, you forget that I saved your life, right? And she told Kane that I need Zion gone ASAP, right? Because she thinks it was Zion who stole her drugs. And he told her it's good as done. And he said, and he's also like, it's good as done, but we just need to figure out how to get you that contract. I was like, good luck with that one, girl. So Effie came in to pay them a visit, right? So Noma wants Effie to go talk to the Russians to get more product from the Russians. So Effie said, you know what? I'll talk to them. And as she was getting ready to walk out, Kane was finna falling behind Effie. And Noma was like, we got business to handle. I was like, again, girl, this boy is around the same age as your daughter. Actually, all these kids are around the same age as your daughter. Why are you doing business with kids? I don't get it. You a woman of a certain age. Like, you look like you ever been in your 40s, but you fucking with these young ass kids. But girl, knock yourself out, slap yourself silly. Creepy Don, he called up Zion asking him why did he take out Wiley. He was like, he's just another dealer. And they were like, motherfucker, that was not a dealer. That was a big power player and a big DC power broker. And, Felicia was talking to him. And, Zion was like, Carter, get your bitch. So they told him that the NYPD has a video of the truck that he was in, right? And how long before they find him. So he was like, you know what? He said, literally, the man ran in front of the bullets. I was like, he absolutely did. And I still don't get why that dude ran in front of them bullets. Like, bruh, that wasn't smart at all. So they asked him, actually, we find out that they're protecting him. So I was like, oh, okay. So you're under his thumb too. Now, he told them he needed somewhere to lay low, right? Creepy Don texted him a place to go, right? And once again, like I said, they're working together. So he's basically threatening Creepy Don that if you protect me, we're good. But if you don't, the deal goes bad, right? So Creepy Don gave him the location for the safe house, and he told Felicia, go over there and into him, right? But they also have an IAB investigation that they're dealing with. And when she left there with him, IAB called her ass saying, hey, we've gotten some reports about excessive force. And she's like, yeah, that just sounds like, police doing their job. No, ma'am, it is not. Not with your skin color, it ain't. So they want to meet with her within the next hour. And so she was like, fuck. So she got in her car and puts a bump on her finger and sniffed it. I was like, oh. So not only are you a dirty cop, but you a drug head too. A terrible combination. So that's when she went, and this is the point where she went to go see Diana early in that I talked about early in the review, right? So we see Tariq and Anya, they getting it in. I was like, wow, you and your little penis get around a lot, Tariq, huh? So Anya is telling Tariq how Noma doesn't want her to be around him. He's like, I'm nothing like my, yeah, she probably saw the stuff in the paper about my dad. I'm nothing like that N-word guy. And I was like, okay, Tariq. So he says, well, tell me about your mom and your dad. She's like, well, her dad was in the oil field, but her dad was taken out a few months ago, right? And she was telling him about, Noma, about how she's a business person and, she does business all over the world. Primary location is London. She has family from Nigeria. She goes to Nigeria, but she doesn't take Anya to Nigeria because she tells Anya it's dangerous. I was like, girl, you just giving Tariq all the intel on your mama. And he gonna use that to his advantage. And you don't know it. Now, this is the part where I was talking about with Kane earlier in the review when he was talking to Monet about the streets talking to him. Well, Zay's brother pulled up on him and pulled out a gun on Kane, and Kane got the drop on him. I'm like, dude, how do you pull out a gun and not use it on him? Like, the minute you would have pulled it out on him, you should have just pat, 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 pat. But you didn't. And Kane pistol whipped you. I'm like, that is so stupid. That was dumb as hell. Dumb, 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 right? And his name is Scoop, right? So Scoop was telling him how his brother got arrested and shot because of Monet. And Kane telling him, I ain't got shit to do with that. He was like, but it's your family. Again, he ain't got nothing to do with that. And Kane told him, next time you pull out a gun on me, either use it or I'm gonna fuck you up, right? I was like, exactly. That wasn't smart. So then we move over to Effie. So Effie is meeting with the Russians for more product, right? Vadim is interested, but he wants to do it at a discounted rate. While they in the middle of negotiating business, Creepy Don and his crew bust in and just start blasting people, right? One of Vadim's guys got hit and he fell on top of Effie. I was like, Effie, as much as I can't stand you and I don't like you, sit there and play possum, right? She played possum for a little bit. So Creepy Don and his crew, they going around, right? One of his guys walked up to one of the Russians, had his gun drawn on him and popped him and took the money. And Kamal saw what was going on. I was like, oh shit, Kamal. That's your ass, Mr. Postman. So the guy that has Drew in the jail cell, right? Drew called him because when he was in the cafeteria at the jail, he overheard Roman having a conversation about turning in Creepy Don's organization, right? So Drew told the guy, like, yo, I got some intel that you need. Like, first of all, the job with Zay taken care of, but I got some intel that I think that you would want to know, but I want to broker a deal first, right? So the guy was like, you don't have any room to give any orders. He was like, well, actually I do, because there's someone in here that's a rat and ready to rat out your organization, right? So the guy was like, okay, I'll talk to Creepy Don, but what do you got? So he told him that Roman, is ready to rat out to the feds, and he has a meeting with the feds. But as long as Drew is in there, he can take Roman out. But but the deal is, Drew doesn't want to be an errand boy. He doesn't want to be a lieutenant. He wants to be, second, high up on the food chain, and he wants power and access, right? And also he wants them to leave his mom and his sister alone. And so he said, he'll see what he'll talk to Creepy Don, right? Now we see Tariq. Tariq is meeting up with Noma. And so Tariq is letting Noma know, like, I know where Zion is and I can get the drop on him. And so Noma was like, what is this for you? What's in it for you, basically, right? And Tariq was like, well, I just want to get back in business with you. And Kane was like, well, I can take Zion out. And she was like, no, because this is all your fault. So Tariq, I want him out. I want it taken care of by the end of the day. I was like, girl, it's already dark, so the day is over. Like, end of the day, girl, it's pitch black outside. So I'm pretty sure it's, late at night, it's nighttime. So it's anywhere between probably 7 o'clock as early as 6 or 7 in the morning. But I know it's not morning time, but I know it's nighttime. But she said she wanted it done by the end of the day. I'm like, girl, you ain't got no more daylight. So what is the end? Never mind. But she said she wanted it done by the end of the day, right? And if it's not done, that she will be sure to take out Tariq and Zion. So after that, Kane was in his feelings, but Noma wants him to figure out if it was Zion who raided her stash. And he said he's working on it, right? Now we move back over to Stansfield. So Braden and Tariq, they're having a party. Braden is high as giraffe pussy. He's on the stage with the group. I was like, if you don't get your ass off this stage. Hell, Bruce Chandra even had to push him off the stage at one point. I was like, exactly. So Tariq came in and told Kane, told Braden that they need to take Zion out, and he needs for Braden to take Zion about doing a re-up. Then Anya came up to Tariq, wanting to get a little hot and heavy. He was like, not tonight, baby. I'm sorry. I was like, ooh, girl, you's a molded. So we see as Tariq and Braden went over there to get the drop on Zion, and my God, today, that man was tearing they asses up. He threw Braden through a whole entire wall. He threw Tariq through some glass, went a glass door. I was like, damn, he is beating the hell out of y'all two. I can't say it. He beating the hell out of y'all two ninjas. But at the end of it, they were able to get the drop on him because Tariq took some of the broken glass and was, I was like, oh. And so, he was like, when Zion was laying on the ground, he was like, Creepy Don got y'all two now, huh? He owned y'all two. And Tariq was like, nobody owns me. He was like, I see you, little ghost. He's like, not anymore, you don't. And boom. I was like, oh, that's how we gonna end it. Okay. So after they left, Diana called to check on Tariq, and she asked, he said everything is taken care of. He said, I'll do anything for you and the baby. So she asked him to meet up at a cookie place, right? So then we see Davis. Davis texts Kane, letting him know that this whole situation with Zion has been taken care of, right? So, Kane told Noma that it was Zion who took the drugs, right? I was like, oh, so you still gonna protect your mama, huh? That might be a big problem for Kane in the long run because I'm pretty sure it's gonna come out that it was actually Monet, but okay. So she told him that Creepy Don raided the Russians and that Vadim did escape, but Vadim is pissed, right? And so he said, was Effie there? And she's like, oh, your little girlfriend. She said she barely escaped, right? But she did escape. So then we see as Felicia is at the station and the partner came in and threw some of the drugs at her, and he asked her about IAB. She said she handled it, right? Now, she's looking at her phone, and on her phone, you see a video. And so the video was when Zion was taken out. So they have cameras in the stash house, and she saw as Tariq took out Zion and not Diana. And so I was like, oh shit, Diana. Now I will say I did see this clip with her on Twitter. What was it? Yesterday, right? No, it was yesterday. I saw the clip. I was like, fuck, why do y'all do this stuff? I don't understand why people love to spoil stuff. So Kane left Noma and he went to go check on Effie. She was like, it ain't like you care. He's like, I do care, but you pushed me away. She's like, well, listen to me, right? But he didn't leave, and she told him she don't know if she can do this anymore. I was like, girl, good night. Now, Felicia found Diana, and she was like, why the fuck didn't you take out Zion? Because I asked you to do it. And she was like, what does Tariq know? So Diana told her she don't know anything. And baby, when I tell y'all, baby girl told Diana's ass up, I was like, ma'am. The way she was punching her and kicking her in her stomach, I was like, okay. Okay. Never mind. Let me mind my business. Come on. sir, what you did, but I know you didn't. I know you didn't have all the pieces together. He met up with Creepy Don to basically let Creepy Don know that his investigation has been tampered, his compromised, right? Because of his crooked, dirty cop. I was like, he's a crooked, dirty cop too. And so Kamal was like, well, let's go arrest him. And Creepy Don said, no. I was like, come on. You're not catching the context clues. He wouldn't. He didn't catch it until the end. And Creepy Don was like, they doing the Lord's work. I was like, are you really? Oh, I mean, okay. Because isn't it one of the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not? No, no. I know that's one of, I don't want to say the word, you guys. That's why. I don't want to say the word, but there's a commandment, is thou shalt not, Kill, right? So how's that the Lord's work? And then I was sitting there looking at Kamal. I was like, Kamal, because Creepy Don was trying to plead to him. I was like, Kamal, bruh, man, please tell me you did not come unarmed. I don't know if he did or didn't, but I know Creepy Don didn't come unarmed, because Creepy Don pulled his out and blasted him. I was like, fuck. Just dumb. And then, you guys, the end of the episode, Tariq made it to where Diana wanted to meet up at, right? And so he didn't see Diana, so he called Diana on the phone. Her phone rang, and then he heard it from the alley, found Diana in the alley, and he's screaming for help. I was like, don't you have a cell phone? Why don't you call 911 instead of screaming for help? But scream for help and call 911. But it is what it is. That was the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your post notifications on, you guys. Share the video. And then until the next time, you guys, please stay safe. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Wow, this is almost 40 minutes.